is up, everybody? Welcome to Truth and Transparency. Let's talk about Miss Karen Reed. We've been patiently waiting for the jury to be selected. I personally believe we have some issues here. Let me tell you why. I think we got some lying going on here.
Right at the beginning of the day, we saw a man whom we recognized from a previous jury pool brought back to the courthouse, brought up to the judge's bench. The judge showed him several documents and questioned him for several minutes, and that man was eventually excused. But later, another man was added to the jury, so that means that the total is still 16, with 8 men and 8 women. Now, last week, the judge upped the goal. She is now aiming for 18 jurors, 12 who will deliberate, and six alternates. As Reed left the courthouse a short time ago, I asked her this. Ms. Reed, how do you feel about the lack of progress?
I'm okay with it. We can use time.
By my count, we're into 3 years and running. So, I mean, there's too many people. A lot of people know what's going on, and they've formed their opinions.
Jury pool number 9 included 56 people, including 49 who said they'd heard about this case, and 24 who said they'd already formed an opinion about whether or not Karen Reed killed her boyfriend, John O'Keefe. Now, also today, prosecutors filed a notice that they plan to show the jury, once it's eventually chosen, excerpts of some of the numerous media interviews that Karen Reed has done both before and after her first trial, which ended without a verdict. The prosecution filed an updated evidence list, which it says includes 41 audio and video files.
Whoops, sorry, I was muted. Hello. I had to squeeze in some time here for our girl, Karen Reed. We got to talk about this. First of all, I watched a video last night. I shared it on my page in the community section. Colin Albert lied and made it seem like some guy was following him and he wasn't. And body cam got out from March. It's fucking hilarious. What a fucking pussy. That's number one. Number 2 is I will be interviewed by Auntie Deb. And I want to play you a song from Auntie Deb's intro. And I think it's almost as good as my intro for the Idaho 4 case. And that's saying a lot. Now, Auntie Deb dresses up and acts like Lil Bev. But let me play you a little song here. Let me just inform you guys of a song that I'm excited to. Let's see. Here we go. My attention, right? Then about a minute into the intro, it's probably like right around the minute and 20-second mark.
Me like a bad habit. You're gonna drop me like a hot fucking potato.
Seen a lot of cases. Oh, hell, I go at my own paces. A trooper, his name was Paul. He had a Queen Bev Rules poster on his wall. He asked me to join him at the policeman's ball. And he'd buy me a claw at the waterfall. Gennady Spaghetti, built like a horse, needs to get the last word in, of course. And now, the Hill's representing. When he gets out of line, Mr. Jackson, no commenting. He acts and says, who cares, I'm rich. If I give a little lip, he shouts, pull up, bitch. Bukaki, he's not Cooper Tractor. Big Benny Ben, that's who I'm after. None of them deny that I got the X Factor. It's the Great White Shark Super Attractor. Oh my goodness. Is it the end of the day on Monday? When's the 4th? Okay, sidebar right now. Am I on? Is this volunteers? A lot of traffic. Get to sidebar right now. If you're cruising down the pike, I'll allow it. Rally, watch the sky. Really do a sidebar. If you see a blonde crab walking by you. Huh! That's Beth Overrider, dressed in all black with a ciggy in my path. Lunatics up in here. I call the idea. All the court fees you could never afford. Sitting pretty, baby. Madam Court Reporter. 7 a.m. My skull's full of crap. If you don't speak up, I'm turning off the fan. Call up my ex from back in the day. Cause nothing goes better with crap than Old Bay. Straight out of UMass, Norfolk, Iran. Days off when I want. This is crap domain. Deliberate again till I let us proceed. And you'll catch me saying, this is funny, Miss Reed. Alright, this is my friggin' courtroom. I ain't fucking around with me. My courtroom. That's what I thought.
All right, so what do you guys think about that? I think it's fucking awesome. I love it. I love good old school rap songs. That is Lil' Kim, and it was remixed. So I think it was really interesting, the lyrics that were put in, featuring the Karen Reed case. So one, Colin, we handled that. I will be interviewed by Auntie Deb. We're picking a time. I think we're either doing it at the end of this week or at the beginning of next week. So that's happening. I mean, I have no idea what the fuck we're going to talk about. I'm sure it's about the Karen Reed case, right? My called timeline when it comes to Matt McCabe that people are just like, what the fuck, Leanna? I'm like, it's the truth, you guys. All right. So number 3 is what is going on in the Karen Reed case? Well, jurors' social medias are being scoured by the prosecution and the defense. I think this is exactly how it should be. I think that picking a jury should not be a 1 or 2 day event. Okay. I think that picking a jury should be like anything and everything. These people are deciding the fate of if it was me, it'd be my life. If it was, it's Karen Reed, it's her life, anybody's life. How this can just be, you ask somebody a question or 4 or 5 and yep, sounds great. They get to be on the jury. Get out of here. This is how it should be. Just like I think jury deliberating should be a very, very long time. So, because again, if you're sitting through something for, 30, 40, 50 days at 8 hours a day, how are you making a decision in, 3 hours? Oh, because Lana's just that compelling. Not the cases I've been seeing people do. So I think that they should know everything about these jurors. I mean, when I say everything, I think they should be interviewing their fucking family members. That's how crazy I am. I think that we should know. We should be able to ask you anything. I think that I should be able to do a credit check on your ass. I don't want no broke ass bitches on my fucking jury. You know why? Because I can't worry if you're going to take a payout. I can't worry that you could be compromised. I want to know the health of your children. I want to know the status of your relationship. I want to know whack ass shit because I want to know about you. So call me crazy, but it is not 1980 anymore. It is not 1970 anymore. Okay. It's not 1960. It's not 1999. It's not even 2000. What people have at their fingertips in this day and age is nothing what anybody thought that it would ever be. So this needs to change. And we're seeing it. I'm loving it. This is so highly woo. Everybody knows about it in that town. How it is even taking place in that town to me is wild. I don't think that it should be taking place in that town. It wasn't until people started talking about, oh, wow, actually, if I had a business in that area and somebody found out that I acquitted somebody and then they try to blacklist me and my business, like I could lose my livelihood over this case. Trust me, I'm going to announce that and I'm going to say I don't feel comfortable. I don't want people to find out. I need to not be on this jury and you should be excusing me, right? So then I thought about it and why would anybody lie? In the moment that you catch somebody on a lie to get on a jury, don't you think that should be a federal offense? It should be a felony at the very least, but I personally think it should be a federal offense. I think it should be a felony if you fucking lie to get on a jury. I want to see your Google searches. I want to see your Amazon clicks. I want to fucking, you have to turn your phone over and I want to fucking download it, right? Now we're talking. But shouldn't we? Because think about it. These people were summoned to for April 1st, and then they would have been talking about it, what they were summoned for. Oh God, I wonder if I got the Karen Reed case. I wonder if I got the Karen Reed case, right? And then they start talking to people. And I think that there should be a little window here is that I should be able to see, we should be able to download your phone and look and see what the fuck you have done since the time that you were, received your little stupid summons in the mail. Again, why? It's because the times have changed. But at the end of the day, if you are caught lying, I think to get on a jury, that should be a felony. I think it should be a felony. Because why would you ever lie to get on a jury? You have right there, that's nefarious reasons. You're under oath, right? I mean, fuck perjury. Throw these motherfuckers in the can. Okay? How damn dare you think that you could lie to get on my jury? For what purpose? I don't even give a fuck what the purpose is. Your ass should be cuffed. You should do jail time. No fucking deals. Directly to go. Do not pass $200. Go straight to jail. You are fucked. Stephanie says, I'm just so pumped to see you and Andy Ted. Two of my faves. I know. I think we're gonna have to like rate the video as like, dude, this is R rated. I want to do my interview in a strip club. I think it's just appropriate. I know that a couple strip clubs will let me live stream. They've done it in the past for me. They appreciate me. And then I want to have 16 strippers all come by and we can ask them questions about the Karen Reed case and if they know about it. And if they were a juror, how much it would take to be bought off. What a great show. So anyways, this is taking a long time and I think it should take as long as it needs to take. Can you imagine though, sitting on this jury and you're sitting there because you don't know if you're going to get picked or not. If you're an alternate, don't they do that at the end? And so you go the whole length and then poof. I mean, think about it. These people are going to be giving up their, if they start at the end of the week here, maybe they start Wednesday, who knows? But you got half of April, May, June, going into the 4th, very similar to last year, right? What if I just raise my hand and say, like, listen, guys, I have all this family ass shit. My kid, I don't even have an opinion about this case, but I'm just going to tell you that I'm not even going to be thinking about this case because I have so much shit to do. Like I gotta outdone, right? Boop. So I love it. By the way, I love it. I love that it's taking a long time. I love that they're fucking scouring people's social media. I think that you should have to take a lie detector test. Vanna, what? Fuck yeah. Strap these bitches up. Take a lie detector test. Why can't we? Well, what if I failed because I'm just a nervous wreck? Well, too bad. Bye. It should take as long as it has to. This is not a goddamn drug charge, okay? For a year or two. This is fucking murder. Okay? Fuck. Now, right? I've tried that a DUI case. Told them I had to pick up kids at school. It didn't work. Right? Say, how are my kids supposed to get home? This is a huge financial burden on me. I think they're just excusing people that how about those like eager beavers that want to be on the jury? Like, then how do you say, like, hey, I want to dismiss this person because they just want to be here. they just want to be here. And that just rubs me the wrong way. Like, come on. I just think that, hey, great, awesome. Everything looks good. It's like this. We get to test drive you. Hey, you look great from the outside. No nicks, no nothing. Now let me test drive you, which is when we strap you up and we ask you questions against the machine. Pass the lie detector test. I don't know. But I think that it should take this long. Awesome. Perfect. Now, what's this rumors that Colin isn't going to be called as a witness? What is this shit? What do we mean Colin isn't going to be called as witness? I have these witness lists. Did those change recently? Because I just know that Colin isn't going to be called or isn't going to be presented as a third-party culprit. Thank you, H-Bag. So let's just nip that in the butt right now. Colin is 100% on the witness list. I think a huge blow to the defense is that they're not able to call the Easter guy to talk about the fucked up investigation, and this is not normally how it goes. I think that's bullshit. So I saw some people talking about what should be the opening statements. So myself and Bella made our opening statements last night? And I think when you can put yourself in the like whatever side you're on, if you put yourself in the other person's shoes and then you say, okay, how would I do it if I was them? That's a really good way to I think prep if you were on the defense or if you're part of the prosecution, you'd want to say, okay, if I was the defense, how do I think they're going to, go at this, or how would I go at this? So to hear it come out that Hank Brennan, he is going to use 41 or try to use 41 audio clips of Karen Reed. Well, I'm over here wait a second, how is this beating 41 audio clips of Karen Reed? These are out of court statements, so how are we bringing them in court? Especially if Karen Reed isn't the person that's going to be testifying to these, I think it's bullshit. Now I ask myself, why the fuck is Karen Reed even speaking? Cumulative. There you go. It's cumulative. For me, I have an issue with anything that's just not live broadcast, because when stuff is clipped and something is, edited and then it's put in different positions, I was saying this, but this was that it wasn't actually to that question, the way that they edited it. What the fuck? I don't think it should be admissible. I don't think it beats any of the what, because then we have to go in a lot. This is going to the relevant. Okay, let's say that's relevant, but hey, then it's going to take a lot of time if I'm on the defense to shred it to shit, right? Meaning that I'm going to now have to call these fucking editors. Okay, I'm going to have to call the person that was the interviewer. because nobody can say what Karen Reed meant other than Karen motherfucking Reed. And if Karen Reed's not going to take the stand, then Karen Reed doesn't take the stand, right? For me, it would be the incompleteness of evidence rule. I would try to argue. Is this like it's out of context? Incompleteness of evidence, like stuff is all chopped. It's out of order, which is out of context. So I don't know even how the interviewer could even testify to this is what Karen Reed meant, other than Karen fucking Reed. You know, well, what question did you ask Karen Reed when she gave this answer? What? How about this? I have a great question. Why the fuck did ID Channel air the body in the snow? Was that supposed to be aired when it was? That's my question. That's the only question I have. Did Karen Reed have any say in the editing that happened in those? If she had no say in the editing, get fucked. Okay. Now, if Karen Reed was in a situation that she's like, fuck, I got to pay my attorneys, right? Am I going to get paid for this? Or are we going to make some money in this so that I can pay my attorneys, right? I have no idea. But if Karen Reed's racking up a fucking bill, right? And she's like, these people want to buy her story from her. And then so that she can pay her attorneys, you know, is that what happened here? Because if we think about it, Karen Reed hasn't paid her probably attorneys in a very, very long time because all of us have been paying for Karen Reed's attorneys. So is there a way that Karen Reed could use that? It's been said that she wasn't paid. I mean, we don't know. Karen wants out of that contract with ID. I knew better than to sign a contract when Paramount wanted me to do something with them with the Idaho 4 case, and they wanted exclusive rights to all of my videos, all my music, everything. And they could use all of my shit however they wanted to. Because I preserved a ton of stuff in this case, in the Idaho 4 case from the beginning that you just probably can't even get anymore due to the internet changing and Google and all this crap, right? Even some of the videos that were up that no longer, you know, you can't get. And I said, get plowed. Get plowed. And so I said that. And so for me, for Karen, it was just like, how do you have all these attorneys and you would ever get into a contract with that? If you didn't get money for it, why the fuck? And then it's like, God, if you're going to go ahead and say like, I was doing it to reach the people, well, that's to influence the jury pool. So I would not recommend saying that, you know, so what's the purpose of talking to the media? What's the purpose of it all? And I would think the best purpose would be to make money so I could pay for an attorney. You know, I was nervous of losing Alan Jackson. You guys know how much time this has taken? How can any of these lawyers deal with any of their clients? And so if they're not getting paid, I mean, how the fuck where's the money coming from? And that's just some back end deal, but which I would be trying to, I thought they were cutting a deal with Netflix. I thought that Netflix and them were following them like all over the place and that's what was in the works. So all of this stuff doesn't make sense to me. And I personally, I'm a loyal person. And I think that Turtle Boy should have gotten all this stuff when it's over and done. And they should have made some sick ass documentary. And they should have, usually what you do in a documentary is you document things, okay? And documentaries usually come out like a year or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 after the fact, because you're documenting all of the shit, and then you get a sweet ass editing team, and then you make your documentary from all of the stuff that you gathered, right? And that's what I was expecting them to be doing, to show Karen Reed's path and how ridiculous it was. And to document how, and I would go at it, that any of us could have been Karen Reed. Depending on who your friends are, don't be friends with cops. Oh, your integrity is why I'm here. Oh, thank you too much, Mom. Appreciate that. H-Bag. I love when you're here, H-Bag, you son of a bitch. Karen signed with ID when Turtle Boy was in jail. Well, like, who cares? Why? Turtle Boy wasn't going to be in jail for long. I mean, he was totally held. If there's anybody here that's totally got royally fucked in all of this, it's been Turtle Boy. I think Turtle Boy has, I hope to God he gets it too. He should be able to sue the living pants off these people. Okay? I think the world of Bradel. Don't know how he landed Bradel. Don't know where Bradel came from. But fuck, I would have Bradel work for me pro hoc vice in a second. If he would take on an Ohio case, I just think he's so solid. He's arguing our, like, he's arguing the Constitution. He's arguing our rights. He's arguing for all of us. So, so yeah, I have no idea how it all played out and why Karen signed with ID. And then like the whole vanity fair. Has Karen put herself, okay, let's think about this. Has Karen put herself in a position that she can't testify? Okay. Because what questions, well, let's be honest. It's like the way that you can really combat something is what would she be throwing herself out there for? Because I originally thought these things. I'm like, okay, something, all right, you drop John off, right? He doesn't come right back to the car. And so why didn't you get out of the vehicle and go inside or knock on the door? I didn't know anybody there. But you were just with all of them for like the past hour. I didn't know any of them. Didn't feel comfortable going in there. And so you just left and thought that you would just call him when you got home. And I'm trying to think about like on cross, because who better to rehabilitate you than Alan Jackson? I would feel like it doesn't matter what Hank Brennan says. Karen, you just say yes or no, or I don't remember. I don't recall. If you don't recall it, you don't remember it. But these videos, Jen McCabe's version of the story, if you can show that Jen McCabe and blow up her shit as lies, right, to the jury, right? And then here you get to have Karen Reed come and sit down. Where would she be getting hammered? My stomach hurt and I wanted to go home. Yeah, I wear a bat. And you don't need like whatever her situation is. I don't know because I'm not her. I didn't want to go there. They were going to be doing drugs. I didn't want to do any drugs. Whatever the fuck it was, I left. I woke up. John normally doesn't come home, or John normally would have come home. I don't even remember the last time that this is even. How about this? When's the last time that they can even show that Karen and John arrived separately home because of something like this? Was this just so out of the norm? I think AJ can rehabilitate me anytime. There you go. Karen, ID, Turtle Boy, Michael Phelps. They both learned the hard way. I don't understand how you learn the hard way when you have somebody like Alan Jackson. Why would Alan Jackson and Yannetti and these people think that? I mean, they do shit all the time. If they can't fucking vet anybody, I mean, damn. That's just wild to me. Jen's a complete douchebag. Listen, you guys, I'm telling you right now, they need to fucking show that Matt McCabe did these fucking Google searches. You will blow that case out of the water. I mean, it's the truth. Why do you think Matt McCabe was saying, tell them that the guy didn't go inside? Why do you think it was Matt McCabe opening up his big fat mouth to say something like that? Just tell him the guy didn't go inside. Why was Matt McCabe offering that up? Makes hella sense now. Thank you, Kay. Kay says, the Aruba trip's out, by the way. She stated she has no memory. This is not a great look for her, so she probably wants to avoid addressing that. I have no idea why she told those people that she has no memory of it. How about this? What was Karen Reed's purpose for fucking doing what she did? I personally believe that if Karen Reed testifies, she's going to be acquitted. Because every time I've ever sat in or heard people talk about the people being on the jury and what they want to see, they want to fucking see the goddamn defendant testify. Every single person says this shit. And I'm just like, these fucks. These fucks. Because they neither read the contracts, blew my mind. They didn't read the contracts. Dude, when Paramount sent me my little stupid thing, they sent me a reality television contract, and I laughed. I redlined the whole thing, and I said, yep, not this, not this, not this, not this. I have final editing say. And they said, how do you think you have final editing say? I said, because I just wrote it in there. That's how I think I have it. And if you say no, then that's fine. I'm out. I am not going to let you portray me to be something that I am not. Have you lost your fucking mind? Go fiddle around with some 21-year-old. I'm good. I don't need any of that. Yeah, but the 6:38 time frame, he was there way before that. And technically, the police audit, if you want to get real technical, talks about Lank's report basically is the source of that. I know that there's camera footage that's the source of an earlier time. I've been trying to be quiet about it and hoping and praying that, hey, if I don't say anything about it, I gave up all the information I possibly could to the defense to say, hey, have your dude look into this, because I think that it's more than evident that Matt McCabe was the Google searcher on both Google searches, and the watch proves it, and so does the steps with the watch and the phone prove it, that two different users have it, because when the watch isn't moving, the phone's moving. And it's at a very, very crucial time, which is when Karen and Jen McCabe were in the back of a cop car. Jen was without her phone. So therefore she couldn't have said to, like, Karen couldn't have told Jen, hey, Google how long it takes to die in the cold from hypothermia. You fucking show that to the jury, like, blown. Like, there's your third party culpability. Just fucking unbelievable. Yeah, and Jen, when Jen said that she did not fucking search those and she did not delete those things, you guys, do you want to know who fucking basically had my back with this? This is wild. is go watch Chase Hughes and the fucking what are they called? The behavioral panel. They just did Jen McCabe. Did you guys watch that shit? Were you not like, oh my God, this is what Lana fucking said? Lana said that this bitch didn't fucking Google that shit. That's wild. I was like, that's what I thought. It's crazy. It's pretty wild. If you guys haven't seen it yet, go check it out. You like that? Don't be hit. Yeah, get plowed. Remember, we're gonna have Bev Bingo. That's back on. We're just waiting for this fucker to start. Is that what they said? Oh yeah, that's what they said. That they were looking at her. You know, they were doing all the whatever it is that they do, and they said, yeah, it looks like she's pretty adamant about the fact that she didn't do these Google searches and that she didn't do the deleting. You might want to look into who did. And I was like, yeah, exactly. Who had access? Who did? I'm so fucking frustrated by this case, Sherry. That's why I was like, let's walk away from it. The part where Jen became guilty is because she covered it up. You know, she was told, and obviously what happened, and she had the backs of obviously her husband, and yeah. I think Jen's crazy. But when she's saying things like John was my friend, I believe that's the truth. Yeah, John's your friend, but you're not going to let the dad of your children fucking go to prison. You're not going to let, you know, your sister's husband, you know what I mean? And I would have put Matt McCabe down. I would have put Higgins, and I would have put Brian Albert down. And you said it was Chase who pointed out. It was, yeah, they were on the behavioral panel. Let's talk about what's her tits. Aaron. Is the prosecution going to call Aaron O'Keefe? What do you think? Is Paul O'Keefe going to be cross-examined this time around? What's going on with Carrie Roberts? Remember I told you guys that they need to go at Carrie Roberts? They need to go at her. Do they have all the jurors that they need? No. Jen should be worried about the mother of her children going to prison. How I see this case unfolding is Karen gets acquitted and no charges will ever be brought on by anyone unless this defense was able to talk to people that have knowledge, and not only do they have knowledge, but they have some hardcore proof that they're going to present in this trial too about this third party culpability, and that there's, you know, that they're able to do some stuff with these people on the stand and present them with stuff, and then present other people. I hope to see some recalls this time around. I want to see some recalls to the stand, you know. I'm new to Karen Reed. Lana, I think that Karen Reed is innocent. I do think that Karen Reed is innocent. I think that Karen Reed did not do herself any favors with talking. Now, 5 years ago, but I would have been like, yeah, Karen, fuck yeah, go scream it from the rooftops. Sure. I'm way more educated than I was 5 years ago. No, Karen, you're not going to say a fucking word. Okay. And this is why. You can wait till this is all over, because then you can never be retried for this. Fuck, you can come out here and say, what is it? You can fucking say that you killed the guy. There's nothing that's going to happen to you. But what's up, criminality? Vanessa, oh goodness, innocent for sure. Lana's all in on the innocence. I think everybody's innocent until proven guilty. You know, I don't think that they proved that Karen Reed's guilty. I don't think they could prove that anybody's guilty in this case, because the cops fucked it up so bad that I don't believe that anybody could be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. And I think that the blame should go right where it is, and it should be on the cops. You know, we had a conversation, me and Bella, the other day, and I said, let's be honest, if you were a cop, right? When does it become that you would have probable cause to be able to go inside that house? And she gave her answer, and I was like, no, you're wrong. And she's like, oh, shut up. I was like, no, the probable cause is as soon as they found out that John didn't have another shoe on, right? As soon as they found out that John was missing a shoe, right? Like, how is John, when he would have been at the hospital, like, where the fuck is his other shoe? Where's his he only has one shoe on? I personally believe that those cops knew or thought that John O'Keefe got into a fight. Why would you collect blood? I have blood in the yard to put in red solo cups. Probable cause when I have blood in the yard to put. Think about it. If you just thought it was John's blood, who gives a fuck about John's blood? Why are you collecting blood? You're collecting blood to see if it's somebody else's blood, right? To test it to see if it's somebody else's blood. Why would you collect the blood if you thought it was John's blood? Right? But I'm even saying that, like, when, like, John's laying there, right? And he's missing a shoe. Nobody realized that he's missing a fucking shoe. How's that possible? I just think if I'm Karen Reed, I'd fucking take the stand and just start saying all this shit. I told him that he's missing a shoe. I told him that where is his hat? Where is his, what's going on? I mean, I didn't call fucking Jen McCabe and say that shit. I said, Jen, where is John? And then she was like, oh, just come here, and I'll and we'll go over to my sister's. And I did not know where he was. I never said that to her. Why do you think I called her at 4:53 in the morning? If I didn't know that we ever went there, why would I have called fucking Jen McCabe then? Think about it. That's why I would take the fucking stand. I would put some common sense into these motherfuckers and say that, why would I call Jen McCabe if I didn't think that we went over there that night? Fuck them. Shoes come off with impact. The point that it would be missing, the point that you wouldn't know, and it's on somebody's lawn, and you would think that when she found out that somebody was dropped off there, or you even heard that, okay, well, where's his shoe at? I'm sorry, last time I got into a fight, which was, I don't even know, 3rd grade, my shoe didn't come off. You guys' shoes come off when you guys get in fist fights? No, it looks like he took his shoes off, and someone tried to put one on and couldn't find the other one. I don't know. But at the bottom line, it's about probable cause to go into a home. I don't even think they would have need probable cause. Why wouldn't they just ask the guys, hey, is John's shoe in here? Can we look around to see if John's shoe is in here? No, why would John's shoe be in here? Well, I don't know. Just because you guys didn't see him, like maybe he still came in. I don't know. I personally think that those people would have let him in because I don't think that he went into the house. I think that he was in a car. She's definitely come off in fistfights. Wow, really? How? Why? You kick them off yourself when you're fighting? What? Jesus. Give me that shoe. The fact that they trusted Jen McCabe about the fact that John didn't go in the house where it's actually investigating the truth of the matter. Yeah. Why does the one report say that Jen McCabe said that, oh yeah, he's been here ever since between like 12 and 1 when he was dropped off? You guys know that one of the Canton reports say that? That should be hammered. What else? Okay, jurors. Back to jurors. Well, let's go back to the prosecution. Okay, so obviously they're gonna be getting a totally different like game planning scheme. Okay, Allie's not gonna be called right to the stand, but the defense put her on. Tristan Morris wasn't listed, right? So they're slowly trying to take people away that could say another voice that you don't want to say that you didn't see the body on the lawn, right? So the defense, how are you not calling every single neighbor and having them take the stand and just asking them one question? Did the cops knock on your door and ask you if you heard anything, or ask you for your Ring camera, if you have one, or if you have any cameras? Nobody talked to any of these neighbors. Can you fucking imagine? Dude, somebody dings our car. We're like all running around to the neighbors saying, hey, can I see your camera? I want to see, I had, blah, blah, blah. And we're all like looking over a stupid fucking ding, or, oh my God, somebody broke into my car and took all my change. I want to catch this fucking rat kid that did it, That wasn't even brought up in the first trial. I believe if the defense is going to drown out the most important parts of each person's testimony, you're going to have the same outcome. Talking about Caitlin and McLaughlin's fucking relationship from high school, get the fuck off of it, okay? If you want to talk about anything that's weird about that, you got to go with Kevin Albert and introduce it that way. That why did Kevin Albert tell Proctor to call that fucking bitch? That's the firefighter. Okay, bringing up that Caitlin Albert and this broad were in pictures together years ago. Come on. Yes, but the thing is, Karen was telling them that she may have hit him or did. No, that's hearsay. That's hearsay. How the fuck are they even testifying to that? Well, is it utterance, blah, blah, blah. Fuck off. No. There are 0 reports that say that, did I hit him? I hit him. I hit him. I hit him. I hit him. That's why you have to show that Matt McCabe made those Google searches and everything blows up. You show that Matt McCabe made both of those Google searches and the story fucking blows. 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 She admitted to saying that, but was more of a question. Yeah. Google's shoes come off in fist fights. Is Jen McCabe's 911 call? She whispers, "Oh my God, it's a scene." Who would say that? Would she say that? It's a scene? I personally think that Jen McCabe is so fucking confused. I think that Jen McCabe is so confused. And so she walks in that house and she goes upstairs without her cell phone, as it does not go up the stairs, goes upstairs, talks to her sister, comes down, and she is told some shit. And that's when her fucking heart rate at 647 starts going crazy. It wasn't when she found John. It was when she found out the truth. The truth. Because of it. I hit him. Yeah. They should use that. They should use that saying in opening. I think Karen has talked too much, no doubt about it. I have no problem saying it. That's my opinion. I think your best evidence is that nobody saw him on the lawn. If he was hit by a car, all of those people, none of them saw him. Yeah, sorry, not believable. That's your reasonable doubt. That's all I have to show. How about this? How do you think that Hank Brennan is going to combat that? Because he has to know that the defense is going that route this time. And if they don't, then fucking shame on the defense. That's the only thing I'm looking forward to is to see, all right, when's the last time that we've actually watched a trial all the way through? And now we get to see if these stud-ass attorneys are going to make, what type of adjustments would you make? As an athlete, everybody teaches you have to make adjustments. And if you don't, then you cannot. It's like insanity. If you expect a different result from the same input, that's insanity for you to expect a different result. So what do we see right here? Well, we see that the jury is taking a long time. So that's a different input, right? So we can expect something different out. But there's no way that you can expect a different output if you put the same input in. And so I'm going to compare the line of questioning and how the prosecution and the defense treat the witnesses and what they're focusing on this time around. Yeah, you like that? I think I like that. Who's been watching tape? It's important to watch the tape, or you can just read the transcripts. And I think that that's why the caseload, in my opinion, should be divvied up. Because listen, you need to know what this person said the last time around, so you can go at them with their previous testimony. Let's see. How impactful is it going to be that Schreiber Proctor lost his job over his conduct in this case? I think if they say that he lost his job due to calling Karen Reed a cunt, it's not going to matter that much. It has to be. Karen Reed's vehicle was accessible from other people than the police. And so I think that that's why the Ring camera is missing. It lines up perfectly. Matt McCabe gets out of the vehicle at 1:55 in the morning and is out of the vehicle and takes 16 steps from 1:55 to 1:57 in the middle of his drive time to that fucking house to supposedly drop off these girls. He never says that he got out of the vehicle to let either one of them or help either one of them get into their home. So where does Matt McCabe get out of, or you could say, or Jen, right? But Jen has her watch on, so the watch doesn't move. So who gets out of the vehicle with Jen McCabe's phone at 1:55 to 1:57? I believe that they pulled in the driveway of Karen Reed's or John's house. I believe that that's why the Ring cameras, that footage is missing. I believe that that's why the footage is missing during the time frame of when I believe Matt McCabe and or Higgins went there prior to then going to, that's why Matt McCabe did not leave with Jen McCabe. And when Carrie Roberts went to the house and Karen's there, I believe that Matt McCabe had other things that he needed to take care of. I don't think that Karen Reed would have known how to delete those. They would have still been found in the cloud. Even if she just deletes them off like a device, they would have still been found in the cloud. I'm talking about the Ring camera footage. I'm saying that everything has failed with the whole Sally Port angle. They're going to be able to show that these other cameras were grainy and inverted. That's not good for the defense to keep harping on the fact that go with the Ring camera footage. How these crucial times were just poof. And then you want to show that during those crucial times, these people were doing questionable things. If the prosecution can make this case circumstantial, so can the defense. So I would hit up hard the Ring camera footage, and I think it's crazy that Karen's vehicle did not register pulling in there. It did. It was deleted. I don't think Jen was the ringleader. She's not street smart. It was BA calling the shots and she fouled. I think it was Matt McCabe and Higgins, and then BA got thrown into it because Matt McCabe and Higgins put the body on the lawn to make sure that Colin Albert would cover for everything. They put him on the hook. That's what I think. What better way to make sure that you're getting protected than keeping the body right there on the lawn of a Boston cop who's going to have to then do everything to protect you? I think Matt McCabe's a snake. I think he's a little lizard. I think he has lizard lips. And I think he'd be in a horrible fucking way. Not that any of that's relevant. I feel bad that Jen McCabe has to fuck him. But then again, I feel bad for Jen McCabe just because she's Jen McCabe. Wild times. Just watch DUI guy on Melanie. Sorry for the question, but when is this trial supposed to start? Maybe tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. I think Wednesday. John manually locked his phone at 12:32 a.m. in new court dock. Karen was home by 12:36, connecting to Wi-Fi. 6. Yeah, that's one all day. The manual locking of your phone is when you double click the side, I believe, in an iPhone, or when you swipe up, exit, and lock it. So it'll be interesting. I want to know if we're going to see some more testimony from Richard Green to talk about like the timelines and the normal patterns of life for these people. Think about it. It never came up if John, did John normally go out? They were dating for 2 years. Would John and Karen ever get separated like that? I'm just curious. Because if they wouldn't, think about why Karen was acting like that. That never has happened. You heard from Richard Green. He, forensically examined the phones to show that Karen has never called anybody like that before. Stuff like that. Is court in session on Fridays? No court Fridays ever? The fuck, Bev? Is that for like the whole time? Do you think Karen Steen will call Higgins BFF Matt? Oh, fuck yeah, he is. I don't think anybody's going down for anybody, child two. I think gloves are off. They have video of Higgins on the telephone with one of the other conspirators after claiming he had a butt dial. No, it was actually not at that time. His butt dial was at 222, 220 something. The phone call at the station was at 134. I know that that's not true. Do you think Karen Steen will call Higgins BFF Matt to show how he pulled? Yes, I do. I think Karen's team is going to have to show a completely different narrative. I think it's crazy that Karen Reed talked about the O.J. Simpson case in connection with her case. I just wouldn't even fucking talk about that. That would be the last thing on my mind. But I would have just maybe stuck to the whole media frenzy, maybe. Or I get that the cops. O.J. Simpson put himself in a goddamn Bronco, you guys, and went on a chase. You want to know why? So that they would arrest him, and so they wouldn't look at his son. If I get into a Bronco and I go driving around, right, and act like I'm whatever, it keeps them from investigating anything else. Why did O.J. lawyer up his son, Jason, and no one else in the family? That's how I feel about the O.J. Simpson case. I believe that O.J. was summoned over there after the fact when Jason showed up and fucking told him like he was all bloody mess. You know how bloody that fucking Bronco would have been? There's no fucking blood in that Bronco. How is that possible? O.J. Simpson got naked too, just like Brian Colbert, right? Everybody just getting naked. But at least in O.J.'s case, there was just a tiny bit of blood, in the middle council thingy. Lynn, I didn't hear Richard Green on the witness list today. Do you have it? Richard Green's on the witness list. Why wouldn't he be? I think Bev was out to lunch today when she was reading that witness list. Karen should have never said that. J. Simpson. I just, I think there's been some money exchanging hands in some type. Like, I just can't imagine that her fucking lawyers would ever be like, Karen, you know what? Go out there and talk to whoever the fuck you want. It's fine. Who cares? There's just no fucking way. There's no fucking way. But then maybe, I could see Turtle Boy. He's like, I'm not charged with murder, and I'm going to continue to. It's my First Amendment right to say something. You can't protect my speech. And he's absolutely right about that, right? If I want to call Colin Albert a fucking piece of shit and tell you that I think that you're a soft ass fucking pickle, sorry, buddy. I cannot believe. Have you guys seen that body cam? Chris Albert is such a soft fucking. He's a flaccid cock. Like him and his son. Hey man, somebody's following you around, man. What? No one's following you around. This guy is literally documenting shit in town, and these fools probably have their cameras. Did you see how they have the windows all closed? Like it's mind blowing. You guys haven't seen this body cam? Let's show you guys this body cam. New release body cam of Colin Albert being a pussy. Ooh. Is Teresa still in chat? Colin Albert body cam. Let's see if it's just pops right up. I think it's like third party culpability, so I'll go that one. Third party. The hell? It's like mass accountability. Yeah, here it is. I watched it last night. I was like, what a bunch of sourpusses.
Who is a woman that has been accused of killing her Boston police officer boyfriend. His name is John O'Keefe, and he was found in the front yard of another Boston police officer named Brian Albert. The last two restaurants that they were at were C.F. McCarthy's and the Waterfall restaurant. Right next door to C.F. McCarthy's is D&E Pizza, that is owned by the Canton selectman Chris Albert, who is the brother of Brian Albert, the officer's front yard that John O'Keefe was found in. A blogger was charged
Look at turn over, watch this.
with witness intimidation because he was speaking
The glares behind him, like
into the cameras of
I'm sorry, but this gets me every time. Like, how do you report this to the police? How do you report this to the police?
D&E Pizza, and
Look at. They put up this fucking, I don't know, whatever sheet. And they put a fucking camera right here. Isn't that just great? Yeah, mass accountability, right? Yes.
Chris Albert is a witness in that trial.
Look
So
at that.
I went to this area to go get a perspective of all three restaurants, the cameras, and while I was there filming
Look at these people. Look at these people and these cameras.
in front of C.F. McCarthy's, a woman had walked up and we had a conversation for about 5 minutes after she pointed to the signs in the windows of D&E Pizza, asking me if I support both of the signs, which is supporting justice for John O'Keefe and supporting Canton Police Department. Right at the end of our conversation, I noticed a Jeep pull up a couple parking spots down, and I was finished with my filming, so I went over to my car. I had heard a call come in for a woman that thought she was being followed, so while I was walking over to my car, I sat down to get directions off of Google Maps to that place.
Caller, you can be. The last ping on the phone was by Steeplechase on Chapman.
Once I got in my car, he got out of the Jeep and he started literally standing there staring at me. So I activated my body cam and started recording with my phone. As you see, he's going to be staring at me right when I start recording. And he was doing that for at least 10, 15 seconds. He goes to the door and then he walks back to his vehicle. Once I start pulling away, he also pulls out of his parking spot. So I figured what he was going to do was follow me. So I banged a Yui and we ended up passing by each other once again. I pulled back around down the street and then I headed to the call that I was going to of the woman being followed, which was very close to the police station on Washington Street. It's called Cassie's Corner Store. That call was cleared as soon as I was pulling up. The officers were getting back in their car. I went down the street, turned around. I ended up being behind a police officer and I was heading to Canton PD. I parked here at the cemetery and I walked down to Canton PD because you know how we do when we're out filming police. You don't want them to get your vehicle and your identification from your license plate. When I was pulling past the police department to go park at the cemetery, I noticed who is now known as Colin pulling into the police department, and you can see his Jeep to the left right there. I pay him no mind because I'm not there for him. I'm there to document the police department, as I visited there 2 years prior, and I wanted to see if they had limited access to the public on the second floor, which they have since I was there last time. When I came outside, Colin was gone, and then Chris passed by me right here, and he went through the authorized personnel only, going around the back to the one-way exit on the other side of the building. When I was walking back to the cemetery, I turned around and noticed Colin passing by me once again right here. So I knew what he was going to do. He was going to go down and turn around once again. So I turn around, go back, and I stand on this stone wall so I can get another video of him once again passing by me, as it seems as he's following me and not I'm following him. Remember, D&E Pizza was to the right when you come out of the police department, and he took a left. And this is must be the second time he looped around because of what he describes in this body-worn camera footage. After he went by, I started cleaning my windows because I was parked underneath a tree, and then I heard the radio transmission come in, which made me get this body cam footage.
Return to a party in the lobby. They're being followed around. Not connected to the recent call.
And as you all heard, it said not related to the recent call, which was the other call I went to down at Cassie's Corner Store.
He's
For everyone that
cleaning
follows
his
me
car.
here on YouTube, I'm sorry I haven't been posting lately. I have a lot of stuff that's been going on. I want to be able to post a lot more and kind of give you guys updates of what's been happening. I have one case that's in the appeals process, and I have another case that's going to be a revocation of plea. So I'm going to have 2 open cases once again, and I will keep you guys up to date what's going on. I appreciate all the support. Much love, respect, and appreciation.
You guys, look at these fucking fools. Colin Albert and his dad are in the fucking Canton Police Department. Dude, the cop here is going to put his body cam on to go in and get these motherfuckers' statements about this dude in the white car.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's up?
You guys want to have a seat? We'll talk in the interview room. Give you some privacy. Yep.
What's going on?
Quiet. So what's going on today, guys?
So pretty much I went to, supposed to work for him today.
Okay.
I went up
What time? 11:30 right now.
10:50. I pulled in.
So 10:50.
Yeah, pulled in the front of D&E.
So you parked on Wash.
Yep.
Okay.
And I saw some guy in front of D&E. I didn't really think anything of it.
Mhm.
And so we crossed the street. I stopped paying attention. And then I go up to the door at D&E, and there's this guy in this 1960 Lincoln just staring.
It's not a Lincoln, Colin. I looked
No,
at
it's
it.
a Lincoln, 150%
Oh,
Lincoln.
Okay.
Just staring at me, which happens.
Is it the same guy
Yeah.
that you saw before?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And he got in his Lincoln and
So he's
just walked back to my car, hopped in my car, and drove away. And I went up towards Canton Market, pulled around in Canton Market, and all of a sudden he was going the same way I was going.
Uh-huh.
And then I went down towards the town hall. I pulled around and
dude, Colin had no idea that this guy had camera of all of this. So Colin is making a false police report. This is priceless, okay? They're arguing about what type of vehicle this dude was in, like 1960. That was like 1970. Like, I know 100%. I know. I got the car. He goes in here and he fucking lies his dick off. Not knowing, did he not know that this guy had like cameras?
in the town hall and through the back like business buildings over there.
Mhm.
And I pulled out of the town hall, and all of a sudden he's right behind me again.
Mhm.
So I went back up towards D&E.
Mhm.
I think I pulled around in maybe the Walgreens parking lot.
Yep.
I can't even remember now. And then I drove straight here, and then I drove straight here, and then all of a sudden the guy.
You want to go lock the car?
No, it's all right. I mean, he's in the police station.
Yeah.
It should be fine.
And then
So just to have this right, you went from D&E to Canton Market. Did you pull on?
pulled back on Washington.
Did you take a left down? Mechanic?
And turned around in the parking
So did you go mechanic and then like kind of?
that little swoop.
Yeah, you did a swoop,
Yeah.
and then you went opposite. You went towards the police station. You went towards
Yeah.
town hall.
Yep. And
And
then I
then
turned around in
you-
the building right next to the town hall.
You didn't turn up to Sherman Street. You turned.
Oh, no, I turned on to Sherman
Okay,
Street.
so-
Turned on to Sherman Street, and then that first right,
First left.
first right, not in the town hall, the building.
Behind Kramer Jewelers used to.
Okay, so that's like 770. Let's call it.
Yeah.
So let's say town hall's 800. That's 770. So you turned right onto Sherman, right behind that business,
Yeah.
and then left in front of the library. You popped out like in the library.
Yep.
Front of the library. Okay.
Yep. And then he was driving right past me again, staring at me the whole way driving by. And then I think I went back up towards Walgreens and then turned back. I forget which part.
So I have this right. Canton. You went from D&E to Canton Market. Did you notice he was following you at that point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then you did that little turnaround in the building before Town Hall on Washington Street.
Mhm.
You went Sherman, that building, and when you were either turning left or preparing to turn left onto Washington Street. So this is you. This is Washington Street. You saw him coming this way on Washington.
Yep, I'm right by. And then I took a left up there, and then turned back around.
So you turned left on Washington Street. Basically,
saw him go by, and he's had his head every single time I drove by him. He was staring at me.
Sure.
Was almost his head out of the window, staring at me driving by.
Sure.
And then I did another turn. Now I'm
So
forgetting.
you turned onto what? You turned onto Bolivar Street.
No. I stayed on Washington the whole time. I was just
You said
You had to turn around though, so where'd you turn around after you took a left?
So you turned
I
out
think it was Bolivar and into the Walgreens parking lot.
Okay, then when you were in the Bolivar Street, when you were in the parking lot of Walgreens, how did you from there you came here, or were there more stops and turns?
No, from there I came here, but then I turned around and he drove by me again on the way here. And then when I was on the way, he drove by me after I turned out of Walgreens. He drove by me again on the way here.
So how did you get from Walgreens to here? Did you turn left onto Bolivar and go Pleasant, or did you come Washington?
I came Washington.
Okay.
I turned out of Walgreens.
Took a right and then a right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And then he drove by me again. So then
on Washington Street. So
Washington.
Probably in the vicinity of what, D&E?
A little further closer to Seasons kind of.
Okay, so he turned around again and
Okay. And then I turned around and drove
He
straight.
called me.
Called
I
me.
said, go to the police station.
So I
Drive
drove
to the
straight
police
here,
station.
and then he somehow ended up.
What the fuck are they talking about, man? He almost had his head out the window. This is real. This is absolutely fucking crazy. This is a complete lie. Like, all of this is fucking lies. Okay? I have been convinced from early on that Colin did something. Chloe jumping in to protect, and now all the adults are protecting Colin. Absolutely. 100%. Could that have happened? Absolutely. This is just all lies. And then here we have, hey, son, you ready to go to the police department? We can all go lie there together.
4 cars behind me coming to the police station. Then I parked out there.
Hold on, let me just take these notes down real quick. 4 cars back.
4 cars back.
I just want to ask one question. Did you know that he was behind you on your way here? You said he was 4 cars back. At what point did you realize?
When I turned in here, I saw his Lincoln about 3-4 cars back behind me again.
Okay, sure.
I pulled into here. I sat in my car for a couple minutes, maybe 5 minutes. I was on and off the phone with my dad.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, I see the guy walk right behind my car. So I recorded my car in the parking lot and recording all sorts of, I don't know, the building, everything. And then I saw him walk in here.
Yep.
And then and went down that way. And I actually saw his car parked in the cemetery.
Okay, so you took a left out of here.
Left out of here, went down there.
So just because I need to be specific, you take a left out of here.
Yep. I take a left past.
So you can either go Randolph Street or you can go Washington Street.
I went straight.
So you went straight, stayed on Washington Street.
Stayed on Washington.
So you at St. Mary's would be on your left? Because Randolph Street also has a cemetery.
Yes.
Okay.
But he was on the one on the right. His car was in the Randolph Street. The Randolph Street one.
Gotcha. So if you take a left out of here, there is the church that's physically next to our building. There's the one that's across the street.
Look at these 2 fucking fools, man. Colin takes left out of CPD, opposite direction of D&E. Like, hey, I'm coming here to report some guy that was filming. This dude wasn't filming fucking Colin at all. Colin was the one that showed up and then started following this dude. This is unbelievable. I mean, this is actually on film. So the question here is that how is Colin not going to get charged for making a false police report? Is anybody going to do anything about that? Who's going to do something about the fact that you can't falsify police reports? You can't go in there and do this shit.
And then that cemetery, he was in that.
And then I think by him having Chris with him, how does Chris not lose his goddamn position with the Boardman Select, whatever the fuck he does?
Cemetery.
Yes, he was walking to his car, turned around, and then he saw my car drive by, so he clicked. I think he had a GoPro.
Yeah.
I saw him click something right here.
I think he had a GoPro.
I turned around and went straight down, turned around in Kenny Street.
Yep.
Right across, and came back up, and he was actually, this time he was standing on.
I'm gonna tell you how he knows he had a GoPro. Because you were watching the cameras at the fucking restaurant. I don't even know if he has a fucking GoPro. For all we know, it's goddamn who knows.
On the Randolph Cemetery side.
Yep.
On the rock while I recorded my car drive by the whole time. And then I pulled in here.
Okay. Okay. What's so you said it was 1960s Lincoln?
Well, I'm just guessing, honestly. Yeah, something like that.
It's probably the 70s. I have a picture of it.
Sure, I'll take a peek at it.
Yeah.
And if you want to forward.
It's probably a 70s. I got a picture of it.
That's my town email.
Yeah.
It's mchin at town. I'm sure you know
Yeah.
at this point.
MChin. So the only thing I can say is that I verified.
So he went through clearly this cam and redacted it.
That's his car. Probably
That's his
70s.
car.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're not gonna.
Yeah.
So it's a white. We'll call that. What's the name for those? Like
Lincoln Continental.
older.
He says Lincoln Continental. This dude's a fucking dumbass. It's a Lincoln
Or is it
Continental.
Buick? It's hard to tell.
Or is it a Buick?
I'm just gonna call it.
You have one.
Yeah. I'm just gonna call it an older American car.
Yeah.
So it's a white older American car. Is there any chance you guys got his license plate at all?
I didn't. I mean,
Well, I mean,
it might show up.
We might be able to figure it out, but I'm just. Did you get any partial digits? Do you know it started with a 1? Did you know it ended with?
Yeah, I never saw
No
it.
digit. Okay.
Who's this guy asking these questions? He knew for sure, and he's not sure. The car is a riot. Like I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Oh shit. Oh. What a waste of time. Hey Lori, how was your day today in court? How'd you do? Oh, for fuck's sake. What a waste of this guy's time. Lana played Turtle Boy's video again. What video? What video? I don't know. Oh, when Turtle Boy was dancing.
Got him on camera coming in. So
Yeah. So I heard somebody was in here filming. Sounds like they're probably related. I mean, I don't know how many people were in here filming today. I know it's a
usual occurrence for you guys.
Yeah. From what you're telling me, I'm not sure anything would be criminal. Obviously, you did the right thing coming here because you got to protect yourself.
None of this is criminal. I would thank God you came in here. You gotta protect yourself. I can't.
But following you on the public streets, I'm not sure. Obviously, if he's involved in some of your cases or something like that, if there's orders, we'll see if we can
Some of your cases. What cases? How many cases this could have?
determine who he is. But I'm not sure if there's anything criminal yet. But what would be important is if you see him multiple times, then you can articulate harassment and get those harassment prevention orders, which would, if he does it again, like the fourth time, it would be arrestable. So you would need 3 instances.
Fourth time? You get arrested 4 times. You get arrested on the 4th time if somebody like reports you, like, "Hey, this is the same car." They're like after me. I mean, what? But he just made all this shit up. He's reporting shadows. How is he being harassed? Nobody even said anything to him. If he doesn't get in trouble for this, I don't. Can we use it? Can they use this in court? Well, Colin, you have a history of lying to the police, don't you? Can't they use this? This is prior bad acts. This character.
You can go on public ways, and there's nothing we can do about him going on the public ways. I don't know what the elements of stalking are off the top of my head. I will have to look. Next thing I do is I'll go in there. I'll check what stalking is. But like for right, I would imagine, what this was over the course of 30 minutes probably would not constitute stalking. Now, if it continues, that would you're getting more and more. And we'll document as far as figuring out who he was.
Oh my God. Well, if I was this kid, after I saw this body cam, I would have then went and filed a police report. And
For our reports and see if see like that's how you can figure out who he is. Just so you're arming yourself with knowledge.
Yeah. Okay.
What I do here is I usually leave my body camera in here. So I'm gonna put this down. I'm gonna leave it in here just so like your private conversation isn't obviously private. There's also cameras in here.
Yeah.
So I'll go talk to the supervisor. I will look up the stalking elements. So I'll educate you. So you guys are armed with knowledge because you should really. And here's a tip I tell people for everything. Any crime you're wondering what do I need to prove this? Google stalking Massachusetts jury instructions.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do it right now, I'll.
He said I tell everybody just to Google. Hey guys, if you guys have any questions, I tell everybody just Google it. Google Massachusetts state, stalking statute, jury instructions, and then boom, it's handled. You're gonna know what's going on, and it's just what it is. Now,
in the windows of D&E Pizza, asking me if I support both of the signs, which is supporting Justice for John O'Keefe and supporting Canton Police Department. Right at the end of our conversation, I noticed a Jeep pull up a couple parking spots down, and
hold on, I want to get the part where Turtle Boy's dancing for you guys. I think this is it, right?
He was charged with witness intimidation because he was speaking into the cameras of D&E Pizza, and Chris Albert is a witness in that trial. So I went to this area to go get a perspective of all three restaurants, the cameras, and while I was there filming in front of CF McCarthy's, a woman had walked up, and we had a conversation for about 5 minutes after she pointed to the signs in the windows of D&E Pizza, asking me if I support both of the signs, which is supporting Justice for John O'Keefe and supporting Canton Police Department. Right at the end of our conversation,
oh my God.
last two restaurants that they were at were CF McCarthy's and the Waterfall Restaurant. Right next door to CF McCarthy's is D&E Pizza, that is owned by the Canton Selectman, Chris Albert, who is the brother of Brian Albert, the officer's front yard that John O'Keefe was found in. A blogger was charged with witness intimidation because he was speaking into...
He's throwing signs. Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway, so Colin just basically goes and lies and says that this guy's following him, but really Colin's doing the following. I mean, it's just, this case is a pure shit show. I don't know what else to say. So anything else? That's about all I had to say. I only wanted to keep this an hour, and I went 27 minutes over. I blame this video. I couldn't imagine working in D&E now. It's like a fucking dungeon, just Google stuff, guys. Just educate yourselves. Just everybody's Googling. Brian Albert does scare me, but how can you be intimidated by Turtle Boy? Yeah, there's Turtle Boy. Imagine if Turtle Boy had a rubber ducky in his hand. What he did here on a public street, how can he get in trouble for this? Unbelievable. How is Turtle Boy's case not like booted? Anyways, I don't know. My logic is just over people's heads. So let's see. I want to see something really quick. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap up my Karen Reed thoughts for today. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Come back. Baby, come back. Oh, yeah, I'll be with Auntie Deb. As soon as I get that date, I will give it to you guys. I'm sure it'll be off the chain. Okay? Thank you, guys. Appreciate you. See you on the flip side. Whoo. Turtle Boy, keep fucking these people in the ass. I love it.